Kasongola, Entebbe, Kabale, Moroto will be handled. Edward, the issue of the administrative burden of creation of these local governments. Yes, there is no doubt it has a cost, but it also has an advantage. And the advantage is embedded in the Constitution, Article 179. Unless you are telling us that when that article is met in terms of the wishes of the people, the geography, administrative efficiency, service delivery, communication, and all the other factors, the population. Yes, Uganda remains finite, but the population keeps increasing, and they need services. Now, once I get a council resolution from a district, then my responsibility is to carry out a technical study, and that's what the Chief Whip advised any of those who are coming. We have to carry out a technical study. Then, when I realize that it is viable, I present it to Cabinet, and it comes to Parliament. That process is within the law, and we are simply meeting the law. So don't look at only one side, that there is a burden. Here there is a burden, but there is also an advantage. People want services closer to them. The population of Uganda is increasing. Urbanization is increasing at a faster rate than any other country in Africa, 5.3% annually. And you know very well, if you leave home, you go back after 3 months, a small town has grown into a trading center. Governance, so as to avoid slums, so as to avoid unplanned areas. So this is within the law, and that's what we're doing. Fred, as for the new local, if we do that, you're saying smaller districts are not helpful. Where are you carrying out this study? I'm in local government for 30 years, and we have evidence to show that some of these local governments have moved extremely fast compared to those which were there. And they are doing well on service delivery, they are doing well on health, on education. So it's not a question of small districts, it's a question of the level of governance and administration. Are we going to have leaders elected? I hope you heard the resolution very well. To be created subject to the law. And the question should be, what does the law say? We have the Local Government Act, Section 7, I think subsection 13. A district created after an election, after general election, shall take effect 6 months prior to the next election. So a district like now, Tororo, creating Mulanda district, after the last general election, should take effect 6 months prior to the next election of January 2026. That's why we are talking about deeming it to have been created in July. Is that accepted? That's why we say the Electoral Commission will handle that together with the Attorney General. The other law is the Electoral Commission Act, I think Section 21, subsection 2, which provides that when you create a district, I think somebody must have mentioned that, when the electoral processes have already begun, that district will become an electoral district in the subsequent elections. But that does not stop us from creating it. Rachel,
they created the
Luero municipality. And these are cities which were created, are still living. And the districts don't have headquarters. You have a point. And if we are going to create municipalities, I know it very well, I have the file. The one which qualifies first is Luero. When you look at the level of development, the level of urbanization, the level of revenue, local revenue of Luero, town council now. Actually, many people, when you go through Luero, you think it's a municipality. The population, the growth of the structures and so on. And I like to thank the mayor there. It's called Buembo. It's worship Buembo. We call them worship when they become municipalities, but you know, big town like that, give him his credit. Yeah. They have done well. So the president has directed that in addition to the new districts, we also include the municipalities which qualify. It's not a question of saying we have, Mr. Minister, we sent you a resolution, we want. No, it's not wanting. We have parameters. And so I want to give comfort to the people of Luweero that I have your resolution requesting for a municipality, and it does qualify. We have others, like Liantonde, like Dokoro, like Bundibujo, like my own home, Chamunga, and others, which I know that, yes, on an objective assessment, they do qualify. So they'll be handled under category 2. The cities are still limping. No, they are not limping. I tell you, I look at the money they had as municipalities vis-a-vis their budgets today. The budgets have grown. I can give you the example. Arua City, as a municipality, its local revenue was, I think, around 1.3 billion. Today, the local revenue of Arua City is close to 10 billion, and as well as the others. So, well, we may not have done what some people expected. It seems some people expect that when you create a city, it should immediately be like Kampala capital city. No, it can't. It will take a little bit of time. And we're happy. I'm happy with the development of the new cities. We had a challenge of getting the districts to have their own homes. These districts which created cities, like Mbarara, Jinja, Poto, Mbale. But as I speak now, Cabinet approved the new town councils because the law requires that the headquarters of a district must be a town. A town meaning either town council or a municipality. The city is a district, so you cannot have a district within a district. The district must shift its area of jurisdiction. So as I speak now, all the 10 districts, we've already agreed on where they are going to relocate to. And we have already gazetted them as towns. And immediately we did that. We provided 1 billion shillings to each of these districts to construct their new headquarters. And I see them. I see Katine in Soroti, well, I think a very big building. I see Busoro in Kavarole, a very big, powerful building. They are doing it. The one which delayed was Masaka. Masaka delayed because we still had a bit of confusion between two venues, Chanamkak and Buunga. But Cabinet approved Chanamkak, and they are going. Now, in that case, the money had already been swept back to the Treasury. We're following it out so that it can be reverted to Masaka so that they construct their headquarters. So the issues you pointed out, for me, they are being handled. Jime, the constitution, the law, I've mentioned it, that when the electoral processes have started, yes, but let's leave that to the electoral commission. Me, I do local government work. I don't do the electoral commission work. And we have the Attorney General, and they'll be advised on now that, nominations have been done and are continuing, what happens to these districts which are created. Is there a need for amendment of the law? Is there a need to collapse some of the structures which had already been set up? That one the Electoral Commission will handle together with the Attorney General. Thank you. It's in the Constitution. How do I, as a minister, know it is the will of the people? I get a council resolution. And the council resolution of the district includes the resolutions of the lower local governments. Then you look at the population. Has the population increased? How do I know it? You both statistics. This is objective. There is nothing like gerrymandering. So I don't agree with you.
Chief Whip. Well, whatever is not contained in the resolution of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus is not part and partial of what we resolved.
But if you discuss about it,
it is not part of what we resolved on.
Nampala wa government, parliament, tuva mu lukiiko lwa akabondo ka NRM, mu State House era tulina bingi bye tukkirizganyizaako naye banange bano kye basinze okumbuuza yebibuuzo ebikwatagana na okutondako districts empya ne cities empya wamu n'ezi munisipaali. Ekisooka waliwo districts ezamumakati ezamu gavumenti y'omumakati ne mu kitundu ekyetoolodde Kampala Central Region e Buganda nga Wakiso district nene amemba bagamba oba naye twandigisazeemu naye nga mbajjukiza mu 2020 Wakiso district Parliament yatondawo site ye Wakiso wamu ne site ya Entebbe. Site kiba okutumbula omutindo gwa munisipaali nefuuka olubugo olwa waggulu oba ekibuga ekya waggulu nga bw'ova ku kabuga katono katawuni council odda ku munisipaali n'odda ku site. Site eri mu lugero lwa district ziri wamu zonna zi LC5. So kyetulindiridde kwe kulaba nti ebibuga ebyatandikibwawo ate biteekwa mu nkola ne bitandika okukola emirimu gyabyo. Ekireetedde okulwawo nsimbi z'okuddukanya emirimu gya site n'okukkiriziganya ku ebitundu ebiri mu site eyo kubanga buli site tugiwa divisions 2 eziri ku mutindo gwa munisipaali. Site division ebeera ku lugero lwa munisipaali. So ekyo tujja kukikola, President atulagidde okukiteeka mu local government ezijja kutondebwawo ne local government ezijja kutandika emirimu gyagyo nga tuvudde mu kategori esooka eyeezo ezeetaagisa kati okusalibwamu mu kiseera kino kye tulimu. Ezo tugambye zisalibwemu ye district y'e Tororo gye tumanyi ebadde okubagano bungi wakati w'Abateeso n'Abajjapadola ne kitwala ebbanga nga kirimu obukyayi bungi. Waliwo ne district ey'e Bundibugyo kusalamu ekitundu kye Buyendera ekiri mu nsozi Rwenzori naye eri obukuubagano wakati w'Abakonzo wamu n'Abamba n'Abanyabwisa bali wansi mu kitundu ekya wansi ekya Bundibugyo. So ekiteeso kivudde mu cabinet kyenyanjulidde akabondo ka Parliament akaba NRM caucus. Tubadde tuteesa nti Tororo district esalibwemu ebitundu 3 ebyazi district nga ye district y'e Mulanda, district y'e Mukuju ne district y'e Kisoko. Waliwo ababaka b'e Tororo abamu bagambye nti nedda si Kisoko tukole Nagongera. President andagidde kubasinkana ku Lwokubiri tusalewo ku nsonga eyo naye tujja kwongerezaako site y'e Tororo. Kiseera kino eri munisipaali tujambuse waggulu efuuke site y'e Tororo ng'erina divisions 2. Kakati eyo Tororo wamu ne Bundibugyo ababaka bakkiriziganyizza wamu nti ezo kusinziira ebibaddewo okuva emabega n'obutategeeragana bw'abantu abo nga bwe bakkiriza nti mutwawule ab'e Buyendera tufune district eyaffe, ab'e Bundibugyo basigere ne district eyaabwe. Kyekimu ne Tororo nga bwe mbirambise ekyo akabondo ka Parliament aka NRM kakkiriza tukikole naye ensonga ejja kukolebwa nga tugendera ku mateeka. Etteeka eririwo kati erya local government ligamba nti bwe tuba tuvudde mu kulonda nga kwe twavaamu 2021 gavumenti netandikawo district empya. District eyo nga zino z'engambe y'e Tororo n'ey'e Bundibugyo zirina okutandika ng'emyezi 6 ejjibulayo okutuuka mu kulonda okuddako.
We members of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus sitting in Entebbe today, 12 September 2025, having warmly received the keynote address delivered to us by His Excellency the President, hereby resolve as follows. 1. To warmly congratulate His Excellency General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on his endorsement and election by the NRM and its structures as NRM National Chairperson and as NRM Presidential Candidate 2026. 2. To receive the congratulations of the NRM National Chairperson to the entire NRM membership from the historical audit of the membership register starting 6 May 2025 through the internal massive democratic exercise to date, challenges notwithstanding. 3. To join our leaders in removing the pollutants, what the chairman referred to as okutokoza, as for example, the unmitigated and immoral use of money, electoral malpractices like altering results, etc., etc. 4. To robustly support the wealth creation efforts of our people and minimize extortion in all its forms. 5. To having received the report of the Minister of Local Government to support the creation of Mukuju District, Mulanda District, Kisoko District, and Tororo City in the financial year 2025-2026, subject to the law. 6. To support the creation of Bugendera District out of Bundibuju District in the financial year 2025-2026, subject to the law. 7. To handle the creation of other districts, cities, and municipalities subsequently in the period 2026-2031. I submit.